More than 30,000 people have signed a petition to deny the Queensland Premier Annastacia Palaszczuk her little trip to the Tokyo Olympics, but she's not budging. Here's what she said this morning.
If we're in a situation where we're in a lockdown, I won't be able to attend, but the delegation is the Federal Sports Minister, the Premier and the Lord Mayor. And it has been made very clear by John Coates that it would be a disaster if the head of Queensland did not go.
All right, let's discuss this now with my panel. Former Queensland Premier Campbell Newman, Labor MP Joel Fitzgibbon. I could say gold medal hypocrisy, but that would be a big pun, Campbell. I have to say, I don't know why we're concerned about letting her go. Let her go. Just make her join the queue when she comes back, surely.
Well, that is the issue, Peter. We don't want her to come back in, and that's what the people in the petition are calling for her not to be allowed to have this sort of exemption. And by the way, it's now over 40,000 people who actually have called her out for the blatant hypocrisy. I mean, the Premier said only a week ago there was this crisis. It was like an asteroid was going to hit Queensland. It was so bad. But in that crisis now suddenly, you know, she can find time to go overseas, so she doesn't need to be here to manage the crisis. She can sort of cut and run, and she will take an entourage of at least 5 or 6, maybe 7 people accompanying her, who are then going to take up precious spaces in the available quarantine places. And there's only a few left because she spearheaded the cutting of those spaces. That's what people are about, Peter. That's the hypocrisy. And she's essentially saying, I'm more important than people who haven't seen their families in 18 months. I'm more important than someone coming back to see a loved one before they die. I'm more important, says the Premier, than the person who wants to see their grandchild for the first time. And it goes on and on. I'm more important than the person who needs to go overseas for urgent business travel. You're not more important, Premier. You've said there's a crisis. Stay here and manage it. And by the way, Peter, final word, the mayors of South East Queensland are the ones who championed this for many years under the leadership of Lord Mayor Graham Quirk, and the Premier came quite late to the party. She was too scared to back it until probably someone showed her a poll and said this is one you should wrap yourself in. So the Olympic flag is right around her shoulders these days, Peter.
I tell you what, you don't miss.